Hi sweeties, my name is Janay Anthony and this, after 5 months, is Astro Maverick Astrology. Yeah, I've been away for like 5 months, which I should apologize for, to you and to myself because, this channel was a passion project and I kind of lost all my passion. Not for astrology, not for this channel, not for any of my goals, but just in general, I did not feel good the past few months. And so to kind of explain where I've been and also to start a new series, I thought I would start this transit diary. Even though, Profections aren't technically transits, I guess, because they're not really planets, but it's an astrological phenomenon that truly does affect, what's going on in your life. And so the best way to learn astrology, in my opinion, is to live it. So by, looking at the astrology, looking at your charts, looking at the planets, and then reflecting on how your life reflects what's going on in the stars, that is the best way to learn astrology. And I love hearing other people's stories of how they are experiencing their transits, so I thought I would share mine. So yes, by the title of this video, you might have figured out that 12th house perfection year is what I will be talking about. For those who don't know, a perfection is, an annual perfection is when you, I'm so bad at explaining things sometimes, but Chris Brennan has amazing videos about it. He's the person I learned this technique from, and I just, within like the first day of knowing it and looking at my, life and my chart on a very like surface level, I saw it like lining up and I was like, well, there's something a lot deeper going on here. So definitely look into perfections if you don't know what they are. So yeah, just kind of a brief overview of what perfections are. Each year of your life corresponds to a different house. Okay, so if you were born as a Leo rising, like I was, the first year of your life would be dedicated solely to your first house. So you would experience those Leo things or, those ascendant sign things. And then when you turn 1 year old, 1 years old, you can't, why is years plural when you say 1 years old? Because one is singular. Anyways, when you turn 1, the focus kind of shifts to the second house, and so you'll be experiencing, your second house themes, and that will be reflected, in the different themes that will come up in your life during that year. And that pattern continues, 3rd house, 4th house, 5th house, all the way to the 12th house. And when you turn 12, you start your first house perfection year again. So hopefully that explains it. You should definitely check out Chris Brennan's video on it because he explains it a lot better than I can. But anyways, I entered a 12th house perfection year, May of 2018. And so I just wanted to kind of share my experience of what this perfection year has been like for me thus far. Because, 12th house themes have definitely come up. Think about being secluded from others. Hello, Janay. Where have you been the past 5 months? Kind of secluded from other people. I've had lots of, sleep issues, lots of, spiritual growth, but at the same time, lots of different spiritual lessons that I've had to learn. So I just wanted to share some of those with you while explaining why I've been absent for a very long time. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was, the amount of psychic vampires I've encountered this year. Like, a lot. So many people who've just come into my life and like drained all my energy. And like, my birthday is the first week of May. The second week of May, I moved. You know, I got some much needed separation from my family because it was kind of a toxic situation. So I'm like, yes, it was my birthday, I just moved, and I was all ready to like start this new chapter, and I was feeling so good, and I was so open to like these new experiences because I was finally free from a situation that was really bad for me. So I just opened myself up completely, which was a mistake. Sometimes being that open is really good if you take the right precautions to protect yourself energetically, which I did not do. So I started encountering like all these new people, and I was like so excited to like make new friends because I was still like riding off that, you know, 11th house year where you're like, you just want to be so social and connect with other people. But moving into like a 12th house year, I should mention my 12th house is ruled by Cancer. So it's a 12th house Cancer year. So lots of different emotional themes going on at the same time. And so I was in the state when I was like so emotionally open to so many new people, and I did nothing to protect myself from the energies of those new people. And you know, like I said, that was a mistake because I kid you not, since my birthday, since like the week after my birthday, I kid you not, I have met more psychic vampires than I have in like the previous years of my entire life. Like, it was intense. And the way psychic vampires work, you don't always instantly know that you're dealing with that kind of person. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you get this feeling in the pit of your stomach, like, being around this person does not make me feel good. And I did get that feeling, and I didn't listen to that feeling, so I really can only blame myself for not trusting my intuition. So yeah, the first instance I went through is like, I was just so open and so happy to be free of the controlling situation that was my family life and my relationship with my dad. That's a different story for a different day, but I was like so happy to finally be free of that control. And then in waltzes this other man, and now he's trying to control me, and I'm like, whoa, 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 why are there so many similarities between this guy and my dad? And it's like, I did not recognize it like right away, and I put up with it for too long trying to be controlled. And you know, that just you know, put a little bit of water on my radiant flames, you know. It was hard. It's not good to be in, you know, a situation where people are constantly trying to control you and nothing you do is ever right, and you're just, it's all your fault, and it's, oh my god, it is so toxic and so draining. And I finally got away from that situation. But at the same time I was getting away from that situation, the seeds of a different situation had been planted earlier and were growing, and then by the time I got rid of that negative energy, this whole new negative energy came in, and well, wouldn't you know, in the form of a man. So many controlling men. But yeah, it's like, I broke free from my family, I broke free from this negative guy, and now there's this other guy who is just like very subtle about his controlling nature. And you know, lots of people don't realize they're doing this, but oh my god, it's kind of so bad when it's just like subtle, because you put up with it with so much longer and it does so much more damage. So I was not able to see like the red flags this guy is just like blasting at me this whole time, because, you know, along with, you know, the negative aspects, there are also positive aspects to our relationship and our friendship. And it's like, sometimes you think the good overweighs the bad, and you're just kind of blinded and you can't see. You're kind of confused and lost in the whole situation. And it's so hard to navigate. It is impossible to navigate those emotional waters, especially like when your own emotions are hidden from you, 12th house, when other people's emotional intentions are hidden from you. It's just so bad, so bad. So it's like, after that, I finally, by the end of, you know, like dealing with that third person, well, second person, not counting my family, when I was, you know, towards the end of that experience, I was really, like, really drained. And that's really when I started, you know, closing myself off and started to step back from people, from social media, from everything. So that was about September-ish, I guess, when I was kind of at the end of my breaking point. Not quite there yet, because there's a whole lot of other stuff that happened where, you know, this person was going through just intense emotional turmoil and like turning to me for support. And, you know, I always try to be a good friend, so, you know, of course I kind of, you know, just welcomed all that energy into my sphere. Like, okay, let me enter your energy and help you feel better, while not realizing that by doing that I was also taking some of her negative energy and bringing it, you know, and carrying it around with myself. It was real bad. So, like, by November-ish, there was just all this emotional weight on me, and I could not deal with people anymore. So I just stopped talking to almost everybody. I stopped posting on social media. I didn't want to deal with anything. I, you know, fell so far off of my, you know, routines and everything. Like, oh, I just lost my spark, and I just, for more or less, I just curled up in a blanket and stayed in my bed for like a month and a half, barely talking to anybody, which, you know, that's not healthy, Janay, or anyone watching this. It's not healthy to just stay in your bedroom for a month and a half and not really connect with other people. I did have my boyfriend through that experience, which was great. He was like the only person I could manage to talk to, because everyone else was just getting on my fucking nerves. And, you know, it kind of makes me a little bit sad, because once you get to that point where you're just so weighed down by other people's energy, it affects you, and then you become a bitch. I became a bitch. I just did not want to deal with anybody. People would say hi, I'd be like, hi, I'd walk away, because I did not want to talk to anyone, because I was just like, I do not have room for your energy right now. And so I just had to distance myself from everything and everybody. And not the best way to go about dealing with things, but look at me, I'm making a video now, so I have finally rid myself of that energy, which is great, because I feel just like so much more myself. I feel open to being extroverted again. I've just come back to myself, you know, and, you know, the lesson of seclusion, of protecting yourself energetically from other people's emotions and intentions and everything like that. It's like, okay, I've learned those 12th house lessons. Let's move on to spiritual development 12th house lessons. Let's go into like the less painful 12th house stuff. I am ready for that. So I'm ready to get back into my astrological practice. I'm ready to get back into my tarot practice. Slowly, I've started meditating again, doing gratitudes, working with my crystals, and oh my god, I feel so much better. I feel so ready to move on from that dark period and, you know, really focus on having a healthy emotional and spiritual inner world. And this energy kind of started with the solar eclipse that happened a couple weeks ago. Because if you follow me on Twitter, the only tweet I have since all this started is like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I bought a bunch of cleaning products and I cleaned my whole house, which is true. On like the day of the eclipse, I just had to clean my entire space, my physical space. And, you know, with the lunar eclipse happening, it's like, I'm ready to, you know, make sure my emotional space is clear. I need to get my hands on some sage and just poof everything away, because, you know, my physical space is clean, my emotional space is clean-ish. It still needs a little bit more scrubbing, but it's almost there, and I am back to myself, and I'm ready to shine. So fitting that this eclipse is in Leo, in my first house, because I am really feeling, you know, ready to step back into that Leo full moon spotlight. You know, I'm ready, and, you know, hopefully you'll join me for the ride and see what comes with the rest of this series. I will be talking about my Jupiter return transit, some other transits, 6th house transits. Capricorn is my 6th house, so there is a lot going on in my 6th house, and a lot going on with like my health and stuff. So anyways, there will be more transit diaries to come. I will start posting my weekly tarot readings because I love doing those, and yeah, just we'll get back into the swing of things. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.